want to share a clip that I found. I listened to this podcast called Eyes on the Right 4.0. It's on Spotify. You know, this woman does okay work, I guess. She's lacking because she takes things to a certain point, but she won't. Like, she tries to be like Black Child in a way, in her way, I guess. But she always leaves stuff lacking. Like, she'll start to tell you what's going on, but she gives you like a baby scoop of what's going on. But she did a podcast on Prince Charles' coronation, and she caught something. I gotta give her credit because I didn't see this, but I thought it was just interesting. Creeping death is what we'll call it. And like I said, this is on the Eyes on the Right podcast. She brought this up. So
they want the cameras to be focusing on.
you gotta ask yourself, is that a sign that he's going out sometime soon? Because remember, this is the same one that said that when he dies, he wants to come back reincarnated as a virus so he can wipe out more people in his lifetime than he ever could have imagined. So, but I thought it was interesting. If you, I'll leave a link to her podcast in the description box if you find, if you want to check her out. But I'm not trying to insult her, but I'm just saying, like, she'll talk about the Queen of Heaven and Anana and things like that is her latest thing, or in her connection to one of the Egyptian goddesses, and so on and so forth. And she'll talk about the what was it, Marilyn Monroe, the Marilyn Monroe effect that's been going around for years, but she'll never really link, like, she'll tell you, oh, this is the plan that they use, but she never tells you who, in her opinion, they are. She just says secret groups, when I'm like, clearly this is the pattern of the Jesuits. Like, read the Jesuit oath. How do we plain as day, how do we get rid of you? Their favorite means of getting rid of people will poison you to death. And what did we just go through? A man-made virus? Look who was the head speaker for directions given on how to handle the virus. Jesuit graduate. What was their thing? Oh, how do we put dirt on everybody so we can control them? And how can we put them in honey pots, and get them that way? It was one of the plans from the Jesuits on how to blackmail leaders. So I get frustrated when I listen to that, and it's like, you won't say who it is, but you'll just walk up to the door and almost say who it is. I don't like that. Okay, this was passed on to me. I was told to share this from the TV show Kendra on FX.
Get out here, you don't mean it. You are deliberately provoking me, son.
It was my fault. It was my fault.
They said look at the walls, too.
Oh, girl, this does not concern you.
I was in the kitchen, and I got distracted. He was just calling.
Damn hell.
Oh, they're going to get me on that music.
You okay?
I'm fine. Will you read it to me now?
Oh, man, they're going to get me on the music. Watch. And I wanted to show this because this was from a documentary on the switch of the royal family's bloodline, how the people on there today are not the people that were there previous, and they documented the switch. Now, I tried to find the video because this was just a screenshot from it, and it's been taken down. And I'm like, I bet you it's because of this. Doesn't this woman nearly look like she's Obama's grandmother? If Obama's grandmother was mulatto like himself, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's a far cry from this, which replaced this. So, you gotta remember, it seems the Germans themselves, if you go back and pay attention to World War II, didn't know who they were, where they came from. They were in search of a codex, right? Codex Magica is what they called it. They were hoping it would explain who they are and where they came from. They didn't like what they found in it, so they ditched it, from what I understand. I mean, I'm not there, so I don't know what they did with the book or the codex, but it just proves that they are not the original German people, which we know, but they're also hiding the fact that they're not related to Great Britain, and they're usurped the crown. So, okay, so next thing was changing topics. I found this and I thought this was interesting. So bear with me on this. I was looking for crocodiles in China, and they don't have crocodiles in China, at least from what I've gathered so far. They have alligators in China. Now think about it. The two places you'll find alligators are at the low end of the Yangtze River, I believe it was called, in China. We'll look it up. And in North America. South America, they have, was it the caiman and the crocodile? Mexico, they have the caiman. All right. Was it Africa, they have the crocodile? Australia, they have the crocodile. And I'm like, wait. So what makes these two places, this one river in China and in North America, so different that they have alligators but not crocodiles? I thought that was interesting. But anyways, so I was looking at this, and I was looking over the Mizoram people, and I was like, what other places have crocodiles? So it sent me on this long goose chase, or crocodile chase, I guess you could say, because that's what I was looking after. And it led me to an island. And I was like, this is unbelievable. Because they're telling you that this nation will not let people go to the island to protect the people from the people on the island. And I'll show you what I mean. Now, I pronounce it Ramsey Island. And I was thinking to myself, wait a minute. Is it the Pharaoh Ramsey? Right? That's not how they pronounce it, though. So let's get to this.
Ramree Island, Burmese, Rambi El Kiwan, also spelled Yanbai Island, is an island off the coast of Rakhine State, Myanmar, Burma. Ramree Island is the largest island in the entire Rakhine Coast and in Myanmar. The area of the island is about 1,350 square kilometers, 520 square miles, and the main populated center is Ramree. In the Burmese language it is known as Yanbai Island. The district on Ramree Island is Kyaukpyu District, and Kyaukpyu is a major town and the second capital of Rakhine State.
So we can get it all in one shot.
Originally, the island was a trading post for the Kingdom of Morocco, with fishing villages spread across it. During World War II, the Battle of Ramree Island was fought during January and February 1945, as part of the British 14th Army 1944-45 offensive on the southern front of the Burma campaign. At the close of the battle, Japanese soldiers were forced into the marshes surrounding the island, and saltwater crocodiles are claimed to have eaten 400, or 980 of them. As only 20 survived according to one account, 2, in what the Guinness World Records has listed as the greatest disaster suffered by humans from animals. However, the veracity of this story has been disputed, and the facts suggest that while a small number of Japanese soldiers were likely killed by crocodiles, the only verifiable mention is of 10 to 15 men killed by crocodiles while crossing the Mew River near Ramree town. The vast majority likely died due to a variety of other reasons, including dehydration, drowning, British gunfire, dysentery, and perhaps even a small number to sharks. Platt et al. 1998.
So there was a few things there, right? The Mew River, I was like, wait a minute. Didn't they say that island that was between China and California, wasn't it called the land of Mew, right? So there's got to be something to that if it's being used twice now, right? So it's like, put a pin mark in that. That's something to look into, this Mew River. What's really the history behind that? The other thing was, right, the name of this island, again, is it Ramses Island? We know Egypt is supposed to have had islands. I'm not saying this is Egypt. I'm just saying I think it's interesting that you have a place called Ramses, and it's right there where you have people called Mezoram, near each other. So, and then the whole idea that the crocodiles killing all these people was the most, deadliest. How they put that. The Guinness World Book of Records has listed as the greatest destructor suffered by humans from animals. No, because watch this. I'll show you. Here you have the Australians, these criminals, right? Literally the meaning of transportation, right? You have these criminals that apparently can brutalize and torture melanated people, kicking their heads off while they bury them in the sand up to their necks and stuff like that. But they're not capable of beating emus, those ostrich-looking birds, but the gray and white ones. They can't win a war against them. They've officially went to war against these things, and they lost. That's the greatest loss and casualty, in my opinion. So